You are at Lake Rant, where I rant about whatever my $15 a month plus patrons want me to rant about. You can get one of these by being one of those. This one's for King of Games, who says, "Hey there, Digibrosif. Rant about the balance between settling in life versus rejecting societal expectations. In other words, accepting yourself versus avoiding self-confrontation. Quite often on my mind is whether I and other people reject these expectations because it's the right thing to do or simply because it's easier to not put so much pressure on ourselves, i.e., settling. Common conflicts include fat acceptance versus healthiness, workaholics versus laziness, etc." Okay, it was a little difficult to parse all that, but I think that if what you're saying is like people will have an inner conflict about should I be healthy or should I accept myself for the way I am. I mean, it's really a case by case basis here. Like in that particular case, I definitely think you are making like an unhealthy decision. Like you should always be thinking it would be better for me if I were healthy. Um, Speaking personally, I'm not the healthiest person. I eat a lot of unhealthy food. I am overweight. I don't work out that much. Like there have been times in my life where I ate better and worked out more. This is not one of those times. And so like I often feel bloated. I often feel acid reflux in my chest. I'm throwing up in my mouth and stuff. My weight fluctuates a lot. Particularly because I keep drinking fucking soda. Um, so like in my mind, there's always this feeling of like, oh, I should be healthier. Like I should be living better than this, and you can just say like, oh, well, you know what? It's not a priority. I'm not worried about it. I'm fucking just gonna I'm just gonna be happy with myself because there's no point in beating myself up over something I'm not going to change. And that's fine. That's probably good for your mental health in the short term, but it doesn't mean that, you're making a correct decision. It just means you're making an easier decision. In the terms of being a workaholic versus being lazy, I mean, again, you don't want to be completely lazy, but you also don't want to be a complete workaholic. I don't know if this is as clear cut of a question. I mean, if you're in the moment asking yourself, like, oh, should I pressure myself to work more? Or should I not? You should think about the circumstances surrounding that. It's like, uh, in my case, I work too much, but on the wrong things. So if it's a question of like, oh, am I being lazy because I haven't done all my rants? The answer is yes. But if it's a question of like, oh, I've already recorded 3 vlogs today, should I record another one because I can? The answer is probably no. I should probably do something other than work and enjoy myself. Um, so, in general, I think that you just gotta understand like what are the benefits or downsides of deciding to think of myself in this way. um, Obviously we don't like if you put too much pressure on yourself, it is unhealthy. You should not be constantly pressuring yourself to be at the absolute top of your game, but that doesn't mean that you should never think about it at all. Like again with my health, like I'm not thinking about it all the time because that would be depressing. It would be like, oh, why haven't I made these changes? Why haven't I tried to be the person that I know I could be or want to be in my mind? But there are answers to that question. There are reasons I haven't done it yet, and like it's less a matter of like accepting myself and saying, oh, it's okay for me to be unhealthy, as it is just saying like, well, at this point in my life, I think I'm in order to achieve the goals I have for myself right now, this is not at the forefront of what I think needs to be done. And that might not even be the right way of thinking because it's probably better to be healthy. It just makes everything else work better alongside it. But like, I'm not going to beat myself up over it if beating myself up over it isn't helping me to do it in the first place. But that doesn't mean it has to disappear from the back of my mind. It doesn't mean that I can't after I've gotten myself into a position where maybe I can think about it again, go, all right, maybe now's the time to finally take care of the health. So yeah, I do think balance is an important word that you put in there. You should always be making sure you have a good balance between, yeah, accepting yourself and avoiding self-confrontation. I mean, I would not like to avoid self-confrontation. I want to be confronting myself often, but just because you confront yourself doesn't mean you immediately come to a conclusion. So yeah, there you go.